Welcome to the Country Hipster Podcast. That music you just heard was none other than the Unholy Four from Charlottesville, Virginia. That is our theme music. That is called Dirty Knife. Look it up on Bandcamp, Spotify, or wherever you can find the Unholy Four. To my right, I'm going to go to my right first. As you can see, the official bartender of the Country Hipster Podcast in the Ottsville Record Garage is here, Tom. So that means tonight is a Booze and Vinyl episode. And to my left is my co-host and brother, Adam, the Country Patient Zero. Mm-hmm. So, how you feeling, buddy?
I'm good. Paul refers to me as the Country Patient Zero because I tested positive last week for COVID.
Yes.
Which is a pain in the ass because I tested positive 4 hours before I was due into work. Ooh. And couldn't get a hold of my store manager to figure out what the play was, because my company has changed their COVID policy quite a few times. Oh, yeah. As most companies have. Yeah, it's like when COVID was first happening, if you tested positive, you were automatically out for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yep.
Then they changed it to you were out for 2 weeks. Unless you... Oh, no. If you were just around somebody who tested positive, you were out for 2 weeks unless you tested negative.
Right.
Then it was, regardless, you're out for 2 weeks. And at this point, it's now 5 days from your onset of symptoms, and then you have to come back wearing a mask. So
okay.
Today would have been, if I was normally scheduled on Mondays, today would have been my day back.
Okay.
But as I am most often not scheduled on Mondays, I will be in tomorrow wearing a mask. So
there you go. Good times.
But
good times.
I was telling Tom before we recorded, I had COVID last year in December, and I felt really shitty for 2 days, and then was, progressively better. I felt mildly shitty for a day and a half this time around, and no fever, no nothing, just a little bit of congestion, like not even, I could still breathe, just I could feel congestion going. But yeah, I've been completely fine this whole time.
Well, I said it when you texted me. I blame Katai.
Well, no, I joked because my mom was feeling shitty. So I walked in the house and Katai was actually like, I was saying to Katai how I was feeling crappy. She's like, maybe you should take a test. I'm like, nah, I don't think it's that. I'm like, I think it's just like a head cold. She's like, that's what you said last time. And I was like, fuck, was it? All right. So I ordered a test and I got it, and I walked in. I ordered it on DoorDash, and I walked into the house, and I looked at my mom, and I was like, just so you know, if this comes back positive, I'm not talking to you for the next 5 fucking days. So it comes back positive, and she's like, oh shit, now I feel like I should maybe get a test. Keep in mind, I told her to get a test like 3 days prior.
Yeah, right.
So,
well, she's a registered nurse. She knows. Yeah. She knows what's up.
So I'm sitting in my room, and so I tested positive. I didn't want to be around Dad, so I immediately went to my room, closed the door. She comes in, opens the door, and goes with a test in her hand. And just goes, I just want to apologize to you because mine just came back positive. And I'm like, I'm gonna lift my talking ban from you for a minute just to be like, I told you so. And now I'm good. The band's back on. Please exit my room.
Nice.
But yeah, so Katai was also feeling shitty. She also tested positive. So the first time I had it, even though she will tell you otherwise, Katai gave it to me because 3 people at her work were out with it, and she works at a daycare. So it's
no, that was crabs she gave you.
Oh yeah, that
was
both.
It was the crabs.
It was both of them simultaneously.
Oh, at the same time.
Yeah.
So she gave you crabs and COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did that at a daycare though. She lied.
Yeah.
COVID or crabs?
Crabs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like 3 people she worked with were out with COVID, and kids are just fucking petri dishes that you have to feed.
Yes, they are.
So she got me sick. So when I moved in with her for like the week that I was out of work. And then to be away from Dad, I moved back in with her for a couple days.
There you go.
And yeah, so
there you go. Now you're here.
Both feeling better. She's not feeling as good as I am, but I'm still feeling.
Okay.
We're all feeling good.
Good. That is a good thing. So I just want to look real quick, if you guys can see it, what these two gentlemen here are drinking. is the Sam Adams Oktoberfest. Sam Adams Oktoberfest is actually one of my all-time favorite beers, if not my favorite beer. It's also the first case of beer I ever bought underage, and we talked about that on a previous episode.
Fancy man.
I know. And what we're actually going to be doing, it's actually pretty perfect that they're drinking this. All throughout September, if hopefully you're going to continue tuning in and subscribing and whatnot. But all throughout September, every episode, we're going to have a different Oktoberfest beer that we're going to be drinking for Oktoberfest. And I have, Adam brought us some PBR Extra. So it's like the stronger PBR. So I'm drinking that right now to start off.
I wasn't aware because I'm a big fan of just regular PBR. They have the PBR Extra, and they also have a PBR Light. I
was not aware of PBR Light. I was not. Wow. Okay. I'll have to check that out.
If I'm not mistaken, too, they might have an IPA.
I do like the fucking PBR coffee beer. It fucking tastes like Yoo-hoo.
Did I ever tell you my fun hipster story about I knew it before it was cool thing?
No, go for it.
So my ex-wife's mom dated a guy. Hey, Debbie.
Debbie.
Yep. Debbie.
She was Debbie. Yep.
Before she passed away, she was dating a guy who was a sales rep for a wholesale beer distributor. And one of his company's big things is PBR. So they got a bunch of samples sent out to them. And he brought him over the one time, and it didn't even have like what the label looks like now. It's like the brown and tan.
Okay.
It was literally just like a PBR label that just said coffee on it. Basically.
Oh, nice.
And it said like there was like a little sticker on the can that said something along the lines of like, hey, this is just a test label. This is what it's going to look like. This is just to get the product out there so we can, have our people try it.
It's like a test pressing, but for beer.
Exactly.
Okay, nice.
So
that's pretty awesome.
I had a test pressing of the PBR hard coffee.
Oh, very nice. Now,
and it tastes like what I wished Yoo-hoo tastes like when I first tried Yoo-hoo.
I got you.
Because I fucking hate Yoo-hoo.
Oh, I love Yoo-hoo.
Nah, it's fucking chocolate water.
Did you keep the can?
Mm-mm.
Oh, what the fuck is wrong with
No,
you?
but I did I did check it in on tap, so there's a picture of it, but I didn't keep it sadly.
All right, you'll have to share that picture with me.
Nah.
We'll put it on the gram. Oh, and now you had I had picked up a mixed 12-pack of the Sam Adams Fall beers because that shit's already out, even though we're in August, and you're drinking.
Even though it's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, no, you're drinking the Flannel Fest Munich Dunkel, which is very good. It is very good. Yeah.
I love Marzens, and so I'm a huge fan of the Sam Adams Oktoberfest anyway. This is very good.
Yes.
It's my favorite time of year for beer.
Yes, nice. It is a good time. It is a good time of year for beer. As they say with Red Stripe, yay beer.
Oh, there you go.
I think it was Hooray beer.
There you go. Hooray. Yeah. Is it Hooray beer?
Hooray
beer.
It's
Hooray beer. See, I'm fucking everything up. I'm a mess. But this is a Booze and Vinyl episode, and we are here today to talk about U2, the Joshua Tree. But I want to start this off just generally a general U2 story. There was this concert in Dublin of U2. They were playing in their hometown and whatnot, and the band's out there, and then Bono comes out and he's clapping his hands. He's like this, and he gets up to the mic and he goes, "Every time I clap my hands, another child in Africa dies." And the guy in the front row goes, "Then stop clapping your fucking hands." So there you go. There's my joke. My Bono joke. So, so this is a Booze and Vinyl. As you guys know, we do book reviews of Booze and Vinyl. This is a This is a book here. This is a Booze and Vinyl Volume 1 by Andre Darlington and Tanaya Darlington. And it is all about these. Yes, absolutely. These drinks are go together with.
Before you start reading, do you want to continue to whore in a Chamonix Creek Brewery?
Because I saw that, I was like looking on their thing. I'm like, because I talked last week about how I really want the fucking Croydon Cream Ale, which I guess is not a staple beer, but they made this cream ale, which is a
better maize ahead.
I will ask them about the Croydon one. We have two of their beers on tap at a little bar, and their beer or their sales rep comes into the bar weekly.
What
to
bar
check
would
it.
that be, Tom?
That would be the Tiernanog in Trenton, the legendary Tiernanog in Trenton.
And what days do you work there, Tom?
I work every other weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, you should go if you ever want to go, to a real proper Irish bar. And when I say a proper Irish bar, I don't mean like they put fucking shamrocks in the window and fucking like, Notre Dame signs. Like this is a real.
Do that.
Well, they do, but not like that's not what they do, and then just call it Irish bar.
Yeah, that's not the soul of our place.
Yes, it is. The soul of the place is a real, true Irish bar. It's in Trenton, New Jersey. Tom works there. I play there quite often. I do not play there this past Saturday like the owner thought I was doing, but I will be there one Saturday a month from October till May at least. And I've actually, it's funny, I was talking about it to Jude the one day. Jude's another bartender there, longtime bartender, great fucking guy.
Since we opened.
And he will fucking he looks like he's like this like nice cuddly teddy bear. No, he'll fucking kill you.
He's
Jude
built
will
like
fucking kill you.
Popeye, and he has murdered people.
Exactly. So, but I remember talking to him. This is about 2 years ago, and I was just like, I don't know, I was just racking my brain, and I just looked at him. I was like, shit. He's like, what? I'm like, I think of everybody who plays here right now, I'm like the old guy. Like I've been playing here the longest than anybody else who plays here on a regular basis. And he was just like, oh fuck yeah, you are, which is funny because not too long before that, like I was like the new guy in town. So it was really weird. But yes, you should go check out Tier to Know in Trenton, New Jersey on Hamilton Avenue, and especially on a night that the official bartender of the Ottsville Record Garage is working, and you can go get some really good drinks there. So speaking of drinks, here we go. This is the drinks for U2 Joshua Tree. And I guess the first one is an El Diablo.
You asked me like I know what
Yes.
that is.
Well, that's
I see the
what it
recipe. I
El
read it
Diablo,
over.
that's Spanish for like a fighting chicken.
Yes, I believe it is. Yes.
I mean, that's close. Yeah.
Joshua Tree, as we will get into, deals with the it's actually Joshua Tree National Park, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what it's named after. It's in the desert, so it's a desert, theme. And this is like a rare flower rising up from the California desert. The El Diablo pops with fragrance and color. First appearing in a Trader Vic's bar book in 1946, this ruby elixir makes for easy drinking and packs delicious flavor. Good ginger beer is key here. So
we don't have that. We have just ginger.
We just have regular ginger beer, which is fine.
Good ones.
I'm good with that. So
there's a brand called Fever Tree that I recommend for your drinks. It's outstanding.
Okay, all right, that's something to look up. All right, so so we're gonna have an El Diablo in a few minutes. So Tom's gonna make those up. Oh yeah, you need a recipe there.
Yeah, recipe.
So
I'm on it, sir.
Thank you, sir. So yes, we are here to talk about U2, the Joshua Tree. Plus, Tom can thank us. Not this Tom, the other Tom can thank us now because this is the fastest we're getting to the fucking album ever. It's pretty amazing.
Let me tell you something about my childhood.
Oh yes, let's hear all about Let's go back to the full history of season 1, season 2, just to push off the album as long as possible, just to piss off Tom. One of our few listeners. We only have a few listeners, right. So we might as well just piss them off while we're at it.
Yeah, it's fun.
But actually, we do appreciate everybody who listens, and please tell your friends about it and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and get your friends to subscribe. Shoot a review down there. Apparently, if you give us a review, people will see our podcast and whatnot, and so. Do that, please. We're begging you. We're gonna do this anyway, but it'd be nice to have other people listening to it as well. So this album was released on March 9th, 1987. It is the 5th studio album from U2. It was produced by Daniel Llanos and the great Brian Eno. Eno. Anyway, he's produced a ton of shit, plus did his solo music. This album was inspired by the American experience, literature, and politics. Upon the release, the Joshua Tree received critical acclaim, topped the charts in over 20 countries, and became the fastest-selling album in British history. From 1987 through 2017, it was charting. It topped the charts at number 1 on the Billboard Top 200, and the year-end charts of 1987, it hit on Billboard was number 6. Everything okay?
I have a knife.
Oh shit!
No, I saw him. I heard the knife, and then I saw the lime, and Tom was having some issues with the limes earlier.
Yes, I apparently I don't know how to keep limes, so Tom's having a tough time getting some juice out of these limes.
A
little dehydrated. We actually have a lime tree too. I don't think we've actually gotten any lime. No, I think last year we got one. This year, like, you see little ones growing, but they haven't really done anything yet.
That one sounded productive.
Yeah.
Let's see where we get off of one lime. That's where we're gonna make our. Do we get a half an ounce off of one lime?
Oh, I'm all about a half an ounce. No, okay. But from 1987 to 2017, this album charted. It was certified diamond in the U.S. in 1995, which means that it is sold over by 1995 sold over 10 million copies here in the U.S.
So
alone.
So platinum is higher than diamond.
Diamond is higher than platinum.
Diamond's higher than platinum.
Platinum's like a million.
Oh, okay.
This is 10 million. Like, think about that. From 1987 to 1995, it sold just in the U.S. We're not even talking worldwide. Just in the U.S. sold over 10 million fucking copies of this album.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot of albums. By the end of 1988 alone, it sold 14 million copies worldwide.
Holy shit!
Right? Exactly, man. Like that is pretty awesome. They toured from April of 1987 throughout 1987, basically from April till the end of December, and that tour was almost completely sold out. It was a world tour in 3 different legs, and it grossed over $30 million on that tour as well. Plus all the copies they were selling. And the cool thing about the tour for the Joshua Tree is that it was the basis of the 1988 film or rockumentary Rattle and Hum. And Rattle and Hum is, in my opinion, my very humble opinion, the last good album that U2 has ever put out.
Which was 6 months after this one, right?
It was about a year, right? Yeah, exactly. So, so those are the main factoids. There's a whole lot of shit we could get into, but I'm not going to lie. I was sitting there today, and it was about 5 o'clock, and I turned to Katie, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I haven't prepped anything for the podcast." So I only had over a week to do this.
No.
But it took me till 5 o'clock to actually turn around and put my notes together. But at any rate, what are your thoughts on the album, Adam? I know you weren't looking forward to this album.
No. So my history with U2 is my daughter's mom fucking loves them. Her dad.
That surprises me.
Her dad loves them.
Okay,
So
all right.
she loves them because of that.
Right.
And like she'd always play shit for me. If I had $1 for every time I fucking heard fucking Sunday Bloody Sunday and didn't want to, I'd be fucking rich. So I've never cared for U2.
Okay.
I didn't like the way they invaded my phone with that fucking album.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Plus, like my whole thing with that too was like it was shit. It wasn't even a good album. Like, and I remember like waking up that morning and like walking to the L, like just when I was living in Fishtown, and I'm just like, all right, I didn't really want the new U2 album because they haven't done anything good since Rattle and Hum. But let me check it out. And I just remember by the time like I got from Girard Avenue to 2nd Street, I was like, no, fuck this.
Yeah.
Like this is horrible. But anyway, go on.
So yeah, I've never cared for U2. I was interested to listen to this in hopes that it would change my mind. It hasn't.
Okay.
What it boils down to is this isn't a bad album, Tom.
Will there be more ice between this one and the second one?
Probably not.
Okay. Let me insert
We forgot. I forgot to get ice, or forgot to tell Adam to get ice, and we only have so many ice.
I can conserve a couple.
All right.
So like I said,
I'm not really completely prepared for this episode.
I was excited to listen to this album because I was hoping it would change my mind. I still don't really care for U2. Of the U2 that I've heard, this is the better of it.
Okay.
It's I talked about it when we covered Hooters. it's just not my style of music.
Okay,
I think,
which is fair.
That's
fair.
It's so I can appreciate it that it's a decent album. I understand why it fucking sold so many goddamn copies. Mm-hmm. That is not the color I was expecting anything to come out of.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's
pretty though.
It's not the it's I understand why it's so acclaimed and why it's gone fucking diamond and all that shit, but it's just not my cup of tea.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the Hooters, which we had said on last week's episode how the Hooters opened up Live Aid here in Philadelphia. Another big deal with Live Aid, and I don't recall if U2 played in Philadelphia or they played in the London one. For some reason, I think they also played in Philadelphia. But that was actually, even though U2 was also already out for a while, and I think the Unforgettable Fire was out and whatnot. That their Live Aid performance is considered one of their real coming out party where the world noticed and really recognized U2 for what they are. It was post Sunday Bloody Sunday because they played Sunday Bloody Sunday there.
This smells weird.
I'm actually pretty sure it was Philadelphia because I remember
this is unsettling.
At one point, Bono actually came off stage because there was a woman in the front row getting crushed up against the wall, and he actually came off stage and grabbed her and pulled her over because security wasn't doing anything about it.
Such a humanitarian.
He was. Well, it's Philadelphia, so the security's probably like, "Fuck you, we're not getting paid to pull people over."
They were probably beating that woman.
Mm-hmm. All right, so what do we have here? This is the El Diablo?
This is the El Diablo.
Okay.
Yep.
So, oh shit, was that down here already?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I was aware of that.
Okay.
That's why your drink is.
Yeah. Well, red. I knew I had it. I just didn't realize I left it down here.
What is it that
leave
made
it
the creme de cactus? Oh, you put it in there. Oh,
Yeah,
look
I
at
put
that.
it here.
Look at that. He's setting up the
got
bar
some rum.
already.
Oh,
We haven't even
nice.
This is the creme de cassis.
Yes,
It's
yes.
the red currant flavor.
Oh,
Nice.
we had it for the
Cure.
Yes.
one of the cure or the
Yeah.
what is
The-
it,
the
the other
Cure.
cure.
I
Yeah.
put it in the
Nice.
dry bar.
Very nice.
When I was done with it.
Oh, so this has a very definitely.
This is tequila and lime juice.
This
and-
just smells like rubbing
Hold
alcohol.
on.
Oh, wait.
I forgot a very important one because we weren't shaking it.
What did you forget?
No, it goes over the top.
Oh, okay.
About
Oh.
to make it weirder.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
it's about
God.
to get
the
weirder.
fuck is that?
That's the ginger beer, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Couple
said
ounces. I was like, oh, here we go. We're good and
There
we're
you
done.
go.
just
All
looks
right.
like RC Cola.
I love RC Cola.
Cola.
I know, but
RC Cola is the fucking best soda ever.
Also, we have that on tap at the Nog.
Do you really?
Yep.
When did that happen?
Forever.
Really?
The button on the gun says RC.
Ah,
That's fucking rad.
See, Joe Rhodes used to just say it's just cola. I'd be like, and it was great because I would always go to Joe. I'm like, yo, man, can I get a Coke? He'd be like, powder or liquid? I'm like, wait, is powder an option? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, all right, thanks, Joe.
It's like, then don't fucking
Yeah,
suggest it.
exactly.
Yeah, dick.
All right, so this is the El Diablo.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It smells better
Yeah.
now that it has the ginger beer in it because it diluted everything else.
It's tart. It makes me pucker.
That's concentrated lime juice. You
Yeah,
got there.
I know. It's light.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either.
I'm glad it called for reposado tequila instead of silver tequila.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: it smells super fucking boozy.
It does, but it doesn't
There's not a
taste.
lot
Does
of
not
fucking
taste boozy
No,
at all.
No. And I'm sure I've probably had the Reposado.
Reposado.
How do you say it?
Reposado. So
Okay.
reposado is
Thank you.
just there's your three main tequilas. So let's say four.
Okay.
But one of them doesn't really count as tequila. You have Blanco or silver tequila, which is unaged.
Okay.
Right. So it's distilled, it's bottled, shipped out. It's clear. Mm-hmm. Some shitty brands like Cuervo will sell gold tequila. So what they use, they put caramel color in it to make it that color. It is unaged tequila.
Okay.
It's like making vodka. It's just clear. They put color in it to make it look like an aged vodka or an aged tequila. It's not aged. It's trash. Mm-hmm.
Tell us how you really.
But you can buy a good bottle of tequila for $30.
Right.
Cuervo's $23 for a shitty bottle of tequila. That's
Okay.
wrong. It's just people know it,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody had a bad experience with it when they were a kid, and that's why most people don't like tequila.
See, I've never had a bad experience with tequila.
Yeah, I've never had a bad experience with
Tequila is
tequila.
one of the few.
I have.
Oh, well.
I don't. Maybe in Philly it's not a thing, but where
no,
I'm from,
I know
like,
it is because I know a lot of people who've said the same thing. Tequila is one of the few straight alcohols where I can just be like, I'll just take a shot. Like, boom. And it's like, cool. Like, whatever. It just goes down. Like how now you are with whiskey, and probably you are with whiskey. If I drink whiskey, it has to be a certain one. It has to be a light whiskey. The hardest, or like I guess the hardest whiskey I can stomach is Tullamore Dew, and that's not even hard.
But that's 40% alcohol. It's 80 proof. That's not like some punk shit.
Oh, okay. Well,
you ever hear the joke? I like my whiskey like I like my girls 17 years old and mixed up with Coke.
Oh, wow.
I've not heard that. So
Adam is the country canceled guy again. How many times have you been canceled now? Like
at least six.
If you take that, if you take that silver tequila and you put it in an oak barrel or a charred barrel and you let it sit and you age it up to 1 year, normally it's like 10 months up to 1 year. It is relaxed, which is your reposado.
Okay.
If it is aged over 1 year, it is aged, which is añejo, and those are your. That's it.
I am an añejo.
Yeah, you've been an añejo forever. The other you'll see every once in a while, like people are like, oh, has it got a worm in it? That's not tequila.
Yeah, and I'm not. Yeah, I'm not worried about the worm. I don't want.
That's not a tequila thing anyway.
Yeah,
that's like kind of like moonshine, and it's usually super smoky. It's just a different
thing altogether.
Yeah, it's
okay,
a totally different thing.
All right. Well, we are actually so Bob Hurst, who's been a friend of the podcast, has been on a couple episodes now. He and I,
friend of the podcast.
Yes, we did plan on making hot dog water on Friday night, but it didn't work out. My son Jack had issues with his car, so I had to help him out with that. But when we finally brew the hot dog water and we bottle it, I am going to put little hot dog weenies in the bottom of some of the bottles. So so it'll be true hot dog water. It'll be great.
You gotta make sure the bottles are really dark so you can't see if you're.
Oh, they're dark. They're dark.
You can't get hit in the mouth. You're gonna hit in the mouth with a hot dog. You gotta be surprised.
And then you gotta figure out, is that Paul or Bob's hot dog you're getting? Whose wiener's hitting me in the mouth?
That would be way more interesting if you. Yeah, it has to be a surprise. Some bottles don't have it. Some bottles do.
It's like Russian roulette with piss water beer.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. No, this drink. This is a good one. I do appreciate just the taste of it. It's good. So
I'm not a fan.
You're not a fan?
No.
Okay. All right. I like how it says before you drop the needle, light the chimenea and break out the tequila. This is a great album for a bonfire. I don't know about that. I don't know that I'd light up the fire pit and listen to Joshua Tree. I do love this album, though.
I know if my girlfriend has to hear it one more time, she's leaving me. So,
I would even go so far as to say this is one of like the all-time great albums. It's good, Rolling Stone Top 500 in 2003. It was 26. In 2012, it was 22. The 2020 version, it did drop down to 135. But I mean, there's been a lot of albums released over that 17-year time period. But it's great. It's when you have any album where the first 3 songs are hit, you know what I mean? It's a good start. It's a good start to the album.
Well, that's all they had, so they front loaded it, and the rest of it isn't as good.
So
that being said, neither of the first 3 songs are in my top 3.
So you say that, right? But that's the thing. Like, with or without you, and I still haven't found what you're looking for. Are the first 2 number 1 hits from for U2 in general. And they're not on my top 3 either. Mm-hmm. And I think if you even took those songs off of there, right, and filled in with other like whatever other crap songs, with the rest of the songs on that album, it's still a fucking great album, even without those 2 hits on it. In my opinion, that's just me. So I don't know. What do you think of the album, Tom?
I don't know. I said this to Adam when we were sitting before we were waiting for you to stop dicking around and come down here.
I do that.
I was like, I don't know what I did to Paul, but I like to think that after listening to this album like 7 times now in the last week, I think we're even. Right? I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry. And I think we're even. My child hated it. Girlfriend hated it. I made him listen to that while we were driving around, doing food prep at my house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like it. But I came into this not liking U2. Mm-hmm. So I don't, I feel like this is
Yeah,
I
so
knew. I kind of knew what to expect. Like I knew
for
they
me
hit
and Tom,
songs.
the cards were definitely stacked against you, the album from the get go. I think.
So I would call myself overall a U2 fan. I would call myself a U2 fan. However, and I said it earlier, the last album in my opinion that U2 put out that was worth a damn was Rattle and Hum.
Okay.
And that came out in 1988. So anything after that, Octoon Baby has grown on me a little bit, and they've had like songs here and there where I'm like, okay, that's not bad. But they totally lost me. Octoon Baby, I was still paying a little bit of attention, but I'm like, it's just not as good as like these other two albums, with one of them being, in my opinion, one of the greatest albums of all time. You know, it's hard to hit that same level, and I was hoping that Octoon Baby would be a Fungus album for me, and it never did. But once that fucking Zooropa shit happened, I was like, no, I'm out. I am completely fucking out.
You started wearing the Zoomies glasses.
The bug glasses. Excuse me, and the fucking song about being a fucking fly or some shit like that. And then they
that was
did
his
the whole
character, right? The fly.
Yeah, and then they did the whole fucking they did the soundtrack to like the Spider-Man Broadway movie or Broadway show and shit like that. And it was just like everything was just like.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. And
it actually gives them a little street cred, in my opinion. But I don't know, man.
It was just it's after like. I would even, so here's the thing, as much as I like this album, and this is another one that like when we started going through the 25, this wasn't like my instant, you know, like the Smiths and the Violent Femmes and the Cure. It wasn't like on that level, but it was very close after that. I was like, no, I gotta put this on there too for the first season because I like the album that much. But I would venture to say, honestly, if I had it on vinyl, which I did actually have it on vinyl, but I sold it. If I had Rattle and Hum, I actually probably pick Rattle and Hum over Joshua Tree. It's not on the same level of greatness. It's a different album. It's a different feel. It's got the live stuff. It has some of the covers. Their cover of All Along the Watchtower is amazing. Even I don't like the Beatles. I think I've made that known. They do a cover. The Rattle and Hum opens with a cover of Helter Skelter, and it fucking rocks, and it does. Yeah. So I think if I had Rattle and Hum, it would probably be, in my personal opinion, above Joshua Tree, but I still fucking love the Joshua Tree, man. I do, and I like the older stuff. I like Sunday Bloody Sunday. I like that fucking song. That riff was one of like. Playing guitar, that was one of the riffs I had to learn how to play. I gotta learn how to play that riff.
And then you realize that like 90% of the Edge's riffs are just like single notes with a fucking echo behind it, so it sounds more involved.
Okay, but true.
He doesn't do a lot. He doesn't. As a lead guitarist, I noticed that, and I'm not a musician, but I noticed that there's not a lot of notes in that song. Like.
But there doesn't have to be.
It's funny.
I can do less with more. He's a minimalist. That's fine.
I've talked about it before.
His name is one word. I get it.
Yeah,
there's a minimalist. A documentary that I really like. It's called "It Might Get Loud," where it's The Edge, Jimmy Page, and Jack White talking about the electric guitar, and The Edge is talking about like he's talking about his like his whole fucking effects setup, and how it's literally like. Two fucking cabinets like this fucking big behind him, and he's like, oh yeah, like he was saying, I can't remember what it was, but he's like, oh, it was funny, like I was telling the guys like I came up with this great riff, so I was like, oh, they're like played for me, and it's literally just down, but when he plays it with all of his effects and shit, it's all echoey and reverby and bullshit and wahs and
he is one of those guitar players that when you hear you might not know the song, you might not know what it is, but you hear the guitar and you're like, that's the
sound,
edge. That's the edge, and it's like, you know, the guitar players like that. It's like Eric Clapton's like that. Fucking Jimmy Page is like that.
And on the topic of guitar players who use a shit ton of effects, I think you can lump Tom Morello into that as well. Like you can hear his shit is very heavily affected, and you hear it and automatically know that's
exactly
him.
And I think that makes a huge difference in like the songs in general. But one of my all-time favorite Edge riffs is the I Will Follow, which I think is off of Boy. That like that's
my favorite U2 song.
Yeah, and it's like fucking like, man, that fucks. and it's good. But again, they and you
Picking
hear
up the Adam words. I
you,
like it.
You hear the progression of U2 from that beginning up to eventually like putting out this album, which is it's probably their poppiest album to that point. You know, as far as like the progression of U2, it definitely grows into more of a mainstream, whereas like the other stuff's still a little bit raw, still a little edgy, and then you get in.
Pun intended.
Yeah, actually no pun intended. But then you get into the Joshua Tree, and it is polished. And apparently, when they were recording it, they were going for like a cinematic sound to like pretty much, I guess, make it feel like you're in the fucking, like you're watching a movie but listening to an album.
I felt like Bono was selling something that whole album, though.
Well, you know, he's pissed off at America. You know?
I get that, but like the whole time, like he's like, I know he's like the only lyricist. He wrote all the lyrics himself.
I think for this album, yeah.
But when he writes stuff where he's like, okay, this song, I really got to impart some feeling in that. He sounds like he's getting fingered and he's enjoying it. And that's fine. I don't want to take away from anything, but like that's what he's making, these weird fucking noises, and I'm like, that's not. I don't know, man. I can't with Bono. Like he's hokey.
I mean, okay. If you want to get into like Bono as a person, there's actually a great movie.
I don't even mean as a person. I just mean as a singer. Like as a person, he's done some great things for people. Like I know he raises a fuckload of money for like, oh, we're building wells in Africa, and great, man. That shit needs to be done because all these, rich people in the world ain't doing it. So good for you.
Hopefully, you stop clapping his hands.
Yeah.
Yes. You know.
He killed enough African children. Stop that. Yeah, I don't mean as a person. I just mean as a singer. Like he's hokey.
No, he is, but he actually he's a good singer though. Like his range is like out there. Like when I'm playing shit, because I have, especially now, since like ultimately, I honestly stopped practicing singing years ago. So like there was a time in my life where like I was actually like a classically trained singer and I could sing the fuck out of anything. But I stopped doing that years ago. So now I just kind of fucking wing it. And even when I could sing, like I don't think I can sing now. I just go out there and do stuff. People are like, "Oh, you got a great voice." I'm like, "No, I don't. Fuck you." Yeah. But it's like I do okay. But even back then when I could sing, I could not sing a lot of U2. Yeah. Because like it's just his range is amazing. Voice. He has an amazing voice. I
don't mean to take that away from, like, he's got a distinct, and I can tell, you play a song I've never heard from U2 again, I can tell you who's singing. Mm-hmm. He has a very distinctive voice as well. Yep. I just don't like the way that it's like overacting, but for a singer. Right. Like I don't like that. What he does, like I don't like that part of it.
There's a comedian who talks about how, he wants to be the drummer for Coldplay, and he talks about how a lot of people hate Coldplay. He's like, but when you say you hate Coldplay, what you're really saying is you hate Chris Martin. And I feel like a lot of times when people say I hate U2, what they're saying is I hate Bono as well. Like, I think they might fall into that same thing. As
I don't have a personal beef with Bono at all. Yeah. I'm all for using your platform to advocate for needy people and, advocate for the less fortunate. Yeah. That's great. I love that.
So funny, like, and I heard this.
Also, fuck Chris Martin and Coldplay.
Yeah. This is like it's kind of gossip-y about U2.
You're gonna spill the tea?
I am. I'm gonna spill the tea a little bit. So I'm not the person who this happened to. I don't, you know what I mean? I heard the story from somebody. But on U2's, I think it was the Joshua Tree tour, the recent one, the anniversary one, which I've never seen U2 live. I've had a few opportunities. I remember when they came in, I think it was like 91. They came in the fall of 91. It was about 91. They came and they played the Philadelphia Spectrum. So this was kind of like in between. It was like after Rattle and Hum, but
Rest in peace, Spectrum.
Oh yes, the Spectrum. Oh shit, I gotta do it properly.
My favorite place to see a show and or sporting event.
Yes, yep.
Rest in peace, Spectrum. Yep.
But so I had that opportunity, and it was like after Rattle and Hum, but it was before Achtung Baby was released, and so they were doing kind of like a warm up tour and whatnot. and they played the Spectrum, and it was like on a Tuesday night, and my mom wouldn't let me go because it was a school night. But I had friends who went, and they said it was like a fucking amazing show. Any of the stuff in between that, I didn't go to. Yeah, I know.
In '91, you were like 26.
Fuck you, dude. I was like 14.
Your mom still stopped you. Come on, man. Damn.
God damn it. No, I was like 14. But yeah, she wouldn't let me go, and then I didn't care about seeing them after that because then I didn't like anything they were doing. But then a few years ago they did, I guess it was the 30th anniversary or whatever it was. Maybe it was the 40th anniversary. Excuse me, of Joshua Tree. They did the whole tour, and they were
40th. Playing
the whole album, and they played at Lincoln Financial Field. And
35th?
Something like that. I don't know. But
the album came out in 87.
87.
I was born in 90,
2017.
and I'm only 32. So it couldn't have been the 40th.
Yeah, 30th would have been 2017.
Okay, so maybe it's 30. Yeah, okay, yeah. So, but at any rate, I didn't get tickets to it. I actually regret not doing that. So there were only 2 times I went to see them. However, though, on that tour when they were in Philadelphia last, a friend of a friend works in like sound and whatnot, and was doing the sound, and he was working the monitors for Larry Mullins, the drummer. And I think they did 2 nights or something like that, and 2 or 3 nights they were doing in Philly. And it's the second night, and they're on the headset, and the stage manager is talking to Larry Mullins, and he's like, Larry's like, yeah, the monitors last night, they were kind of not really that good and whatnot, and the stage manager's like, all right, you want us to take care of that for you? And he's like, yeah, just go another way, and so the stage manager goes to the, he's like, hey, gotta talk to you in about 5 minutes. He's like, yeah, I just fucking heard, dude, it was on the mic. So he got fired right before the show started.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
he got fired without intentionally being fired.
Exactly. So, but I don't know the true validity of that story. That is what I was told happened. So I believe it. You know what I mean? But it's just like that's
fell
fucking.
off a truck. Yeah,
it did. It did. So we have another drink, don't we?
Oh boy,
don't we? We have the Desert Derby, which again is from Booze and Vinyl Volume 1 by Andre Darlington and Tanaya Darlington.
If I'm not mistaken, up until now we've only had Volume 1.
I think we have only had Volume 1. There is a second volume which we do have as well. I purchased the second volume off of Amazon. Volume 1 was a gift to me, this is my official book review of this particular recipe here in Volume 1, and I would say drink number 1 was surprisingly, in my opinion, was actually surprisingly good. Like, I don't know that I would like go and get like a El Diablo.
That.
From the
exactly. Like,
I'm not ordering that, but I'll drink it.
From the smell, I was very off put by the smell.
Yes.
Was pleasantly surprised by the taste.
It tastes better than it smells, which is funny because in wine usually they say if it smells bad, it tastes bad, which is pretty standard. I've found that as well.
It seems other things besides wine too. Yeah.
Well, yes, but
I'm talking food, you dirtbag.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine what else you would be talking.
Obviously,
about.
I was talking about food.
Right, exactly. Not your ex-wife.
Let's not get sued right now. I don't need that.
All right, so we got another drink coming, which is the Desert Derby. The classic brown derby cocktail seems to have originated in Los Angeles. It is assumed to be named for the restaurant of the same name, although its creation is often credited to the nearby Vendome Club. A riff on the drink using a sage leaf appears in Bon Appetit magazine back in 2014, and we based this drink on their idea. Whiskey loves grapefruit, which I actually did not know that. And grapefruit and sage love each other. Voila, a flavor menage a trois by association. I am all about a menage a trois. Apparently it tastes like the desert and America.
I can't believe how poorly you read things and you actually pronounced French words like 4 of them in a row without saying, hey, and Viola, when you have a drink. I'm so proud of you right now, Paul.
I've always said I've never learned
You butcher
French.
my name. You butcher all this other shit.
I know. I'm an idiot. I never said I wasn't. I have a je ne sais quoi about me.
I am so proud of you right now for pronouncing those correctly.
You're a fucking idiot.
I have actually said that I want to learn French, and I want to teach Regina, my beautiful 8-month-old daughter. I want to teach her French, and just yep. Yeah. And just me and Regina are going to learn French, so that way we can have conversations that Katie won't know about.
Real quick, can you just look over this index or this table of contents real quick and tell me, just point to one of your albums that are on this table of contents?
One of my albums?
Yeah. Because none of mine are on this list.
No, we definitely have stuff on volume 2, I think. Hold on.
I could have swore I wrote a 2 down on
Is
mine.
it that on yours?
No.
No? Huh. Maybe.
I could have swore that I wrote down like a volume, because I noted not only what volume it was in, but what page number it's in that volume on my card.
That's not on yours?
that?
Yeah.
No.
No.
We might not have a
We
volume
might
2.
we might not have anything in volume 2, actually. Come to
Wait,
think of it.
wasn't? Didn't you say this was something? Didn't you say this was something that you wanted?
No, not at all. Not even a little.
No.
No.
I'm thinking.
No.
I'm losing my mind then.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there is nothing here.
I wouldn't mind if you ever. Where did I see it?
This is horrible for you guys because
Yeah.
we're like talking in
Sorry.
cryptic terms, and
Yeah.
you're like, "What?"
If
just so we
you
don't give
ever
away
happen to
anything.
come across a copy of this on vinyl,
Oh yeah, that's all right. Yeah,
let me know.
Sufjan Stevens.
Sufjan
Illinois.
Stevens.
Is that how you say Sufjan?
I say Sufjan. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
The best is when you look at the cover of Illinois. It says "Come on, feel the Illinois."
Yeah. No, that I remember when I was working at Soundstage Direct. That album came out and we sold a ton of those.
No.
Ton of those. So
If I'm not mistaken, the story behind him was that he was trying to make an album for every state.
oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I never got much into his stuff. It was. Okay.
I just know that album, and it's a decent album, and there's a very good song in it called John Wayne Gacy Jr.
Oh yeah, yep. So all right, so back to I gotta since we're kind of going off a little tangents here, since we're waiting for the drink, I have to mention that since I mentioned Regina, it was yesterday where she actually looked at me and said, "Daddy."
No shit, really?
Yeah, she actually looked at me and went, "Daddy," and Katie was right there. She's like, "Oh my god!" So that was really cool. Like she's been like kind of like on ay, you know what I mean, like that, kind of like a deaf person like trying to talk.
Yeah.
But no, she actually looked at me yesterday and said, "Daddy," and like we're like, "Holy shit!" And then Katie's like, "Say, mommy," and you know she does, and she just laughed. But like,
I always,
but it was pretty awesome.
I always feel really bad because women are always like terribly upset that women are always terribly upset that their kid says dada before
well, it's
mama.
an easier word.
And that's the thing, like they don't take into account that da is a far easier sound to make than mama.
Yeah.
And they're not saying dada, they're saying da.
Yeah, exactly.
My kid fucked us both and said doggy first.
There you go. What's kind of cool though with Regina now is like we were sitting there the other day, and I said to her, "Where's mommy?" And she looked directly at Katie. And,
Yeah.
You know, and then we're like, "Where's daddy?" And she looked at me. So she recognizes.
You're like,
who
"Where's
we are.
mommy?" And she's like, "Dad." It's fucking right
Yeah,
there,
she-
dude. Turn your
she's like,
fucking head.
What are you fucking blind too? We know you can't fucking hear. You can't see mom sitting right fucking there, Dad. And
You
I'm just
can't
like,
hear, you can't fucking read.
you can't pronounce words, you know, just say the last names wrong all the time. So, but yeah, so I take it neither one of you guys likes this album.
Like I said, it's not a bad album. It's just not my style. Mm-hmm. I was telling Tom, I have a top 3.
Okay.
But when I get to my top 3, you'll understand why they're on my top 3.
Okay. All right.
It's
Yeah.
not me getting a knife out to cut you, Paul. It's
Oh,
okay.
I thought
You didn't bring a knife down, son.
I didn't. Well, you didn't tell
I
me to
gotta
bring a knife.
improvise, sir. We're good.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here at the Ottsville Record Garage, being our bartender.
Thank you. You don't have to say that because I got a knife out. I believed you.
Okay. All right. Good.
This is a fancy looking. Let me see that bottle of tequila.
Oh yeah.
That's not a fancy bottle of tequila.
It's
but
not.
It's
No,
not.
I know.
It
I'm
was
just
still
saying.
$30, dude. For me to
I-
spend $30 on fucking
I like
booze is a
the
lot.
bottle because the bottle
I
it
flashed before
it,
his eyes when he
I
saw
know.
the price.
it reminds me of I had a bottle of Woodford Reserve and it's very much a similar
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, so that's what I wanted to ask you. So this here, like, I
It says
fucking
premium tequila right on the bottle.
there
Tom.
it goes. Yeah.
Well, yeah. How can you go wrong? You're right.
I love fucking margaritas. Would this type of tequila work well
I
with the
prefer
margarita?
drinking them,
Absolutely.
but continue.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. No, you
Classic margarita, dude. 2 parts, 100% agave tequila, which is what I was looking for on the bottle when you sent that to me. It says that right down at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
2 parts, 100% agave tequila. 1 part simple syrup. 1 part lime juice. Simple syrup is just
Yeah.
sugar and water. 1 part,
Yeah.
1 part. Shake them with ice. Pour them over fresh ice. That's it. You don't have to get fancy with a margarita.
Nice.
You can get. You want a salt rim. You want to throw a little Cointreau in it. Have at it. But that's your That's the classic margarita right there.
I dig margaritas.
Super simple.
I enjoy them.
So do I.
All right. So we know I love this album. I find it one of the greatest albums of all time. Adam hates this album. Tom hates this album.
I don't
I
hate.
don't hate it. I don't like it.
If we're going on the Regina scale, I'm indifferent.
Oh, you're indifferent. Okay.
I
Okay.
would put me on the same spot.
Well, I know your girlfriend and your daughter hate this album, right?
But
would that be
I will say,
Trish texted me and said, "Thank God I don't have to hear that fucking Red Hill song ever again."
when I said to Katai, I was like, "Did I tell you what I'm fucking going to discuss today?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Joshua Tree by U2." And the look she gave me was a mixture of disgust and confusion. And she's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Cause I guess Paul wanted to piss me off as much as he's pissed off at some of the albums I picked."
I
Steel
think
Train,
it's,
buddy.
Yeah.
Steel
Like,
Train.
This is Steel Train payback right here.
I am more pissed off about the value of Steel Train
Yeah.
than I am about the sound of Steel Train. Because I even said, like, Steel Train, it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not
just,
great.
It just ripped a bunch of people off.
Exactly. So, yes. So we know you guys figured, and then my beautiful 8-month daughter has an opinion of this album
The
as well.
most important.
The most important opinion of everything on the Country Hipster podcast is the Regina factor, and she is officially indifferent.
Yeah.
Yes. So I have played this
Makes
album.
sense.
Yes. I have played this album
You're
for
the
her.
only one who isn't indifferent.
I know, right? I know. And then 10 million other people who've bought this album, but whatever.
Makes me feel a little.
No,
it
no,
makes
that-
me feel nice because now I know that like there's a lot of people. I listen to that album, it does nothing for me, and I'm like, oh, but so
No.
clearly I'm not just one of the brain dead masses. I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like Paul.
Yes. So I played this album.
I'm paying very close attention to Tom because he has his juicer,
Uh-huh.
and the grapefruit that he's currently peeling is of roughly the size of the juicer that he.
That's why I'm feeling it. Yeah, this is not going to fit in there. Limes and lemons and oranges don't need to be peeled. Paul decided to get fucking crazy and get a whole grapefruit instead of just
grapefruit
grapefruit juice.
You had the shittiest limes and the biggest grapefruit imaginable.
Yeah, he made this. He really fucking made me work on this one. I like this.
What can I say? I'm trying to be fancy, getting like real grapefruit instead of like that fucking processed grapefruit juice
Grapefruit all over your floor.
shit. It's okay. The mice will enjoy it.
The mice hate the grapefruit.
So I played this album a bunch of times for Regina, not only like because to listen to it so we could talk about it, but to really get the Regina factor, and like really like she didn't hate it. Like because when she hates it, she'll cry and she'll make noise until I put something else on, and she didn't but like the stuff she likes she's kicking and whatnot. And you can tell she's really enjoying it, and she's like usually singing along. None of that happened with this. Most of the time we listened to it was in the car.
None of that happened.
None of that happened. So honestly, it's kind of funny what I found happening. She did listen. She was listening, but she would listen, and then you could see her. So I look back because we got the mirror like on the back seat because she's her back's facing the front.
Yeah.
So we had the mirror on the seat. So and you look through the rear mirror and I can see what she's doing. And so you see her listening, looking, and then you just see her getting more comfortable position to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And that is what she did every single time this album was on.
You just see her like, all right, there's nothing good to be had right here. I'm just gonna.
Pretty much, she's like, I don't hate this, but I'm just gonna fucking take a nap.
Yeah.
And so that is the Regina Factory. What's that?
What's that bottle?
That is Irish whiskey.
That's Kilbeggan. That's you told me rye whiskey.
Yes. Oh, small batch rye.
So that is one of my favorite
Irish
rye whiskeys ever.
There you go.
It's one of my favorite Irish whiskeys ever, but they make a rye whiskey as well.
Okay.
One of the only companies that makes a rye that's Irish.
Somebody once asked me what my favorite rye was, and I'm like, I haven't really ventured into the realm of the ryes yet, so I will definitely.
Can't say enough good stuff about Kilbeggan.
I will definitely have to try that out.
I was gonna
Ours
say
makes one too, but I haven't found it yet.
I don't.
My favorite Irish whiskey.
I don't think I've ever had rye. Period. Or if I've had it, I haven't known that I've had rye.
Most Canadian whiskeys, Windsor Canadian, Seagram 7, they have a lot of rye in the mash bill that they use.
Okay.
They're not necessarily a rye whiskey, but they have a lot of rye in it. It's a very Canadian thing.
I do like a nice 7 and 7.
Yeah.
I'm like an old man.
Yeah,
I'll take a 7 and 7.
Nobody under 65 drinks 7 and 7s, but I like
it's delicious. What can I say? I like old timey drinks.
Did I ever tell you the time I was at work and one of my employees told me that I like old people candy because I went up to the gift shop and bought a pack of Necco wafers.
Oh yeah.
Those are old people candy.
Yeah.
Before.
My
He's like, I bet you like Good and Plenty's too. I'm like, yeah, I do.
Oh, I do like Good and Fruities are like a very underrated candy.
They are.
Yes,
No, I'm talking Good. I'm talking.
Oh no, I know.
I'm talking the straight black licorice
You
ones.
always see Good and Plenty's. You rarely see Good and Fruities. Good and Fruities are fucking delicious. So my ex-wife used to send me to Wawa all the time to buy Necco wafers and those like caramels with the cream in the middle.
Oh yeah, I don't care for those.
Yeah, that's she would like, oh, before you go out, go to the Wawa and get me this. I'm like, are you fucking serious? And like she would just eat the shit out. Like Necco wafers, I just never liked that. And the other thing she would do is she would have me get her Doritos and Easy Cheese. And
like
she's
spray
the
cheese?
spray cheese.
Yeah,
and she used to straight like put the spray cheese on the Doritos and just fucking eat them.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. So
I'll fucking eat. Oh God! For you guys watching at home, I apologize for you guys. For you guys just listening, the iPad in which we record just took a fucking swan dive off the music stand.
We got that bungee cord.
we were waiting for that to happen.
That was fucking amazing. It's like the one time we recorded and the lights went out.
Yes. Wow.
I can't wait to hear it.
If you are not watching the video, you can watch the video on YouTube. You can also watch the video on Spotify, podcast. Actually, I think if you just go on regular Spotify too.
Yeah.
But they also have Spotify for podcast as well. You should definitely check out the video at around like the 54, 55-minute mark, and you will see that our camera, which is ultimately my iPad, just took a fucking nosedive. We are not very high tech here, if you can't tell. We are very low tech here at the Country Hipster Podcast. So we film on an iPad and record our audio through my my MacBook here. So it is all good. Oh, excuse me. How we make it out there, Tom?
Doing great.
Doing
Just
great.
adding the honey syrup.
Honey syrup is good. So, yeah. So it's all good.
I just got a text from Katai. She's currently watching a Netflix documentary docuseries that just came out about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard
I want to see that
trial.
Uh-huh.
And this whole time, like, she was watching it earlier today, and she's like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "I think they're both shitty people."
Well, yes, yeah, no.
And
that's
she's
for
like,
sure.
"Oh, she's like, I believe." She's like, "I don't think Johnny Depp did anything wrong." And she texted me going, "I think you might be right." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Johnny Depp might be a little guilty."
I think that is
They're a couple of shitheads.
Yeah, I think they're just a couple of fucking assholes.
that is a case of two people that should have never gotten together, and when they did it went bad. It went really bad, and it was probably I bet you, I will tell you this: the relationship sucked, but I bet you the sex was amazing.
Because they're both batshit crazy.
Well, yeah.
Oh, the problem was, like, I'm sure with the sex there was a lot of, like, he wears so many bracelets. There was probably very noisy sex.
I would guess
The best was she's watching this documentary. At one point, there's like a clip of him being like a drunk asshole in his house.
Yeah, I remember.
And he's
seeing
like storming around his house wearing like a fucking button-down denim, like Western cowboy shirt,
right
with a cowboy hat and these big fucking glasses. And I was like, I'm just really happy that it's now on the record that that's how that motherfucker dresses at home.
Oh yeah,
Like-
absolutely. No, I mean it's the dude like I think is personified by his fucking character in Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't think he had to act real hard for that. But I mean he is an amazing actor. Amber Heard, honestly, like I know I've seen her and stuff, but I don't think she's as good as an actor as he is.
There's certain things where I'll put on and I'm like, oh fuck, that's her.
Yeah.
Like
Couldn't
Zombieland
pick her out of a lineup.
and Pineapple Express.
I never saw Pineapple.
Yeah, she's in both of them. I was like, oh fuck, there she is.
Yep. All right, so what do we got here?
That's a way
This
more.
is the-
It's a way more pleasant color.
It is. It's the
just looks
the
like-
giant grapefruit.
It looks like grapefruit juice.
Yeah. So this is what is this one again? What's this called?
The Desert
Desert
Derby.
Derby.
Desert Derby.
Where did you put those towels? Oh, they're over there, aren't they?
I don't.
Yep, he can reach one. So
There you
I can
go.
walk in front
Boom.
of the camera.
There you
So,
go.
My bag
Well, I
of
mean,
towels
it
has
might
disappeared.
be good. You don't drop.
Hold on,
the
don't touch those yet.
Okay, not touching it. Not touch it. We got more.
One
We got more going
one
on.
more ingredient. I just gotta clean up the fucking mess that
All
I'm
right.
making.
Cool.
Top of your record player needs to be wiped down with a wet cloth, but
Oh,
Top of that.
Oh, top of this thing.
Oh,
Oh,
that's-
yeah.
sorry, the top of the dry bar, not the record player.
Well, we're gonna
Dry
be.
bar.
I said that needs to be sanded,
I was
wiped
gonna
down,
say-
and then sanded
So
and.
these guys,
Uh-huh.
right out of my garden.
Nice.
Very nice.
You gotta fucking
I would say, do you do the same thing to these that you do to mint?
yes,
All right.
smack them. You
Smack
can
'em.
smell it as soon as I slap the shit out of them. It's like
Oh yeah.
that is a sage leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Right
That's
out of
a
my
sage.
right out of my driveway.
So this is the Desert Derby. Sage
big
from the
old-
driveway.
I went from right out of my garden to right out of my driveway.
My
Well,
garden.
it's garden's
Yeah, I
in his
know, but
driveway.
The herbs grow in big pots in my driveway. I
lives
have a big parsley. I'm sorry, I have a big thyme. I have a big rosemary and a big sage bush that just have been there for years now in the same pot. And then I grow the dill and the stuff.
He lives in Trenton. His space is limited.
No, I understand.
I have a giant backyard. I just don't bother growing anything back there because the fucking deer eat it all.
Ooh. I don't know about this one.
I mean, it tastes like a brown derby.
I never had a brown derby, and I don't think I would like one.
It's just whiskey and grapefruit juice and bitters.
Yeah.
It's an old school drink.
You love this, don't you?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah,
it
no,
at
I was
all.
gonna say. Ugh.
I mean, it might
It's
be.
all right. I could do without the sage.
I might.
Ugh.
I see. I don't really get the sage. All I'm getting is like the citrus.
The grapefruit will overpower the sage. Yeah, I
So
can
I would say,
smell
like,
the
if-
sage, but I don't really
I
taste
could.
it.
I could. If you tone down the citrus a little bit, this could. This.
Now I'm gonna give that to you,
I could
and
fuck
I
with
am
this.
going to drink a Shiner Oktoberfest instead. Oh
I don't
yeah.
think you can tone down the citrus when grapefruit juice is
No.
involved. Like that shit just overpowers everything.
What if you just use like half the amount?
Well, I mean, it's a recipe. I got to give this a thumbs down from for Booze and Vinyl. That's my official review of that drink. Adam obviously
I
loves
mean,
it.
maybe if we had more ice.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, I was lacking in the ice department. I'm sorry.
It's lacking this week. Everybody
Yes.
has a bad week, man. It happens.
Exactly, man. I was not prepared. So, Adam, top 3 songs.
It's funny because Tom just mentioned one of mine. So the reason I picked the 3 songs I picked.
Oh, what do you want?
No, you can keep talking,
Keep
Adam.
talking. No, give him the extra, baby. Give him.
Oh, give him the extra.
Give him the extra. Hit him with the
Yeah.
extra.
There's the extra. PBR extra, buddy.
I
picked these 3 songs because when I listen to them,
All good.
when I listen to these 3 songs, they don't initially sound like to me what I think U2.
Okay.
When I think of it.
Okay. Oh yes.
I picked Bullet the Blue Sky,
Okay.
which sounds like there's a word missing somewhere in that title, but Bullet the Blue Sky.
I tried.
Appreciate you.
Trip Through Your Wires. Mm-hmm. And you said specifically that your girlfriend said, thank God she doesn't have to listen to it anymore. Red Hill Mining Town.
Okay. All right.
Just, and again, it strictly comes from, when I hear them, I don't initially think that's you two.
Here's what I will say is based on your top 3 songs, you should listen to Ride on Home.
Okay.
Okay. I'll just say that there. Sir, your top 3? Do you
Those
have
are-
top 3?
No, yeah. So I know my girlfriend hated Red Hill Mining Town, but it was actually that's part of the. I kind of agree with Adam with that. Like I like that one. If I have to pick a top 3, I'm going to Red Hill Mining Town. I like. What the fuck is? It's not Bullet the Blue Sky. He threw me off when he said that. With or without.
Do you need this?
No, it was With or Without You is my probably second favorite U2 song of all time, and I still like it. It still holds up. It doesn't get
It's a great song
for me.
Yep.
But that's it. I'll give you 2.
Okay, you'll give me 2.
Give me 2.
Hey, that's fair. That sometimes you can only come up with 2. I will. My comment about With or Without You is how you said it holds up. If With or Without You was written today and was just released today, it would still be a number 1.
Taylor Swift wrote that it'd be the biggest song in the history of music.
Exactly. But I'm just saying,
it's a good song. It's a good song,
and it's another one of those 4-chord songs, and it just it holds today. Like, you know, you read if that came out today, it would be a hit. In fact, it came out in 1987. It's a fucking hit. It's a great song. It did, however, not make it on my top 3. So my top 3 are Running to Stand Still, which might actually be my all-time favorite U2 song, which is I have a personal connection to that song. I fucking love the song. I love the lyrics, and it's just it's a great song. That's my favorite song. Second is I'm going hits. It is Where the Streets Have No Name. I think it's a great opening to the album, even though it has a what would it be, like a 35% intro.
Oh, it was a good intro.
It wasn't bad,
but it's a good intro. The video, I actually don't like the video, and I think the reason I don't like the video is because they kind of did the Beatles thing where they're up on a roof, which really did happen. They actually played up on the roof, and they did that song, like drove fucking downtown LA crazy. But I do love that song. It's a good song. It's a banger. And number 3, honestly, we're all here. Red Hill Mining Town.
Yeah. Great
fucking song. I do have an honorable mention of Bullet the Blue Sky. However, not the Joshua Tree version.
Yeah.
The Rattle and Hum version, and I'm serious. Listen
the
to
one
the
you
Rattle
hear on
and
the
Hum.
radio. You don't hear the Joshua Tree one.
Right.
If
You usually hear it
on the
yeah,
radio. You'll
yeah.
hear the other because they cut off all the bullshit at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slightly
all
different
that weird
song.
talky shit.
Yeah, where he's talking about throwing money down and gambling.
But it gets even more so in the Rattle and Hum version, and it's a longer version. And he kind of goes off a little bit. That is a song, it's actually one of the reasons I want to see them live, is to see them play that song live. I just have a feeling it's just one of those songs that you like feel through your whole body when you see them, just because you almost feel it through your whole body. Just listen to it.
Yeah.
But if you listen and I know it's from Joshua Tree, but the Rattle and Hum live version of Bullet the Blue Sky is fucking amazing. No. So that's my honorable mention.
Musically, is it because that was the thing that initially attracted me to Bullet the Blue Sky, was it sounds heavy, like
it's heavy.
Significantly
Starts out
heavier
great.
than what I would expect anything.
Oh yeah,
a friend of mine,
the fucking bass
he played
a
song for me the one time. He's like, "Hey, listen to this song," and we were listening to it. I'm like, he's like, "Do you like this?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, he's like, "This is Kings of Leon." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Okay.
And he's like, "Yeah, because it has a heavier, more distorted sound than what I would expect them to sound like."
Like Bullet the Blue Sky is a straight bass and drum song with like some guitar thrown in, and it's just it's one you have to, I know. It's one you
Edge playing one note every 8 seconds.
That's every U2 song.
But it's one of those that like if I see them live and they ever actually see them live and they don't play that song, I'm gonna be pissed off.
No,
because that would be really the main reason I go to see them is to see them play both the Blues. So that's my honorable mention. But yeah, man. And it was funny when I was sitting there earlier thinking about like what's my like third favorite, because like the first 2 were just easy, Running to Stand Still and Streets, and I'm like, what would be my third? Because there's so many fucking good songs on this album, in my opinion. Obviously, you two fuckers don't agree with me. And then I just kept singing like I'm holding on, like, you know what I mean? I was like, it's great. I was like, I'm like, God, it's gotta be Red Hill Mining Town. So, least favorite song.
One Tree Hill.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Yeah. So when I was
because you like you like Red Hill Mining Town, but you don't like One Tree Hill.
No, because One Tree Hill seemed way more generic and way more my idea of U2 than Red Hill Mining Town.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Plus, fuck Chad Michael Murray.
What? Oh, is that the show?
He was the star of that show. One Tree Hill was a joke. I never watched that show.
Okay, either did I. Least favorite besides the other like
I'm
11
interested.
songs on the album.
I'm interested about Tom's.
The ones I hated the most, the song I hated the most was Mothers of the Disappeared.
Okay.
My second least
That was a
favorite
very
song,
close contender for my most.
So I had 3 contenders. One Tree Hill was one of them. And Exit was the third one.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly,
Those 3 I could do
'cause
without.
if I'm not mistaken, that's how the album ends. One Tree Hill, Exit,
And then
Mothers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought, like, I remember when we were talking about Manchester, like, if you cut that last song, it'd be a solid fucking album.
Which
It
is
was, when I was listening to this, I was like, wow, they really fucking kind of shit the bed on that last 3.
and which is why Mothers of the Disappeared is my least favorite song on the album. For that reason. And I think if you take Mothers of the Disappeared, because I believe the stuff from Rat on Hum, a lot of that was actually recorded at the same time as Joshua Tree. I don't think all of them, but a lot of them were recorded, and you can actually hear how Mothers Have Disappeared. It kind of doesn't fit on Joshua Tree. It kind of gears more towards
That and Exit
the rap.
made no sense to me, and I'm like, okay.
Exit would
I
probably.
also don't like them, so I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, this makes.
Yeah, Exit would
I don't get
probably be there too, like almost like you're talking like real deep tracks there, you know. So
These are songs I'd never heard prior to listening to this album on purpose.
right. Yeah, I hear you.
I think I had heard the first 3 because they're hits, and I had heard "Bullet to Blue Sky" a million times. Mm-hmm. I think those are probably the only 4 songs I'd ever been, I had ever heard on the radio prior to this.
One of the things cool about Red Hill Mining Town, and I actually have it, is until they did the anniversary version of the anniversary tour of Joshua Tree, they actually never played Red Hill Mining Town live. They didn't play it on any of their tours. I don't know why, but they didn't.
Shame.
But
Probably.
yeah. But what's kind of cool is that same year, I guess it was, maybe it was like 2017. They actually released a remastered, re-recorded version of the song for Record Store Day. It's like a picture disc, and I did when I went out for Record Store Day that year, and I bought a few albums, and that was one of the things that I did pick up. And it's pretty cool. And like I was like, I really fucking love this song. I thought it was weird to kind of just put out like a 12-inch picture disc single of like just that song, and like a remastered version of it, because it was not one of the hits. I mean, it's like obviously on my top 3 of the album, but it's cool. It stands and it's there, and I have no idea what that album is worth, but I can tell you what this album is worth.
Oh,
So what I have here,
segues like he's a fucking professional.
Did you like that? Did you like that? See, I did not prepare as well as I should have for this podcast, but I fucking got the segue down.
Yeah.
So, U2, Joshua Tree. My copy here is a 2 LP remastered reissue. It has a little booklet with it that comes with it. It doesn't say it. When I looked it up, it does not say that this particular pressing is 180 gram. But if you look at this and you feel that fucking
Yeah,
record.
say just from looking at
it. I'm pretty sure this is 180 gram.
Yeah, it's got some thickness to it.
Originally, honestly, I actually thought that I had the 2007 remaster version. I do not. And again, the way we figured this stuff out is in the dead wax. Here, let me hold
I
it.
feel like 6.5 ounces, man. That's all you need to know.
What did it say?
It has the catalog number with an 01-A because this is side 1.
No, but this little
and
thing
that's
says
like
something /55.
Yeah, it's actually SS.
Oh, okay.
Right, and that is how I was able to verify in the dead wax here next to the label is the catalog number and which version it is, and it has this little SS here.
I thought 55, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, no.
/55
No, we're
means
going
something
Nazi.
of 55.
Yes. No.
That means it's going to be worth a lot of money.
No, it's not. It's not that. This
Steel train money on this.
Yeah, it's the steel trim on the shit right here.
Well, we'll get into that in a
Oh,
second.
shit.
But yeah, so I do have a 2016 version where it's like I said, I don't remember when I bought this, but apparently it was around 2016 when I bought this. So I do have the 2016 remastered reissue of the Joshua Tree 2 LP 180 gram. So there are on Discogs of this very version, there are only 4 copies for sale. And they're all listed at near mint, with the lowest being at $70.
Oh, Adam, he's gonna get you.
And the top being at I think it was from a seller in Australia.
I'm like $300 ahead.
He's gonna get
You're
you.
not. You're not.
He's gonna get you.
But it was
It's coming.
the seller of the top one, which was like $150 Australian money. So those, but like I said, those 4 copies are near mint. We don't use near mint rating. We agreed that we use very good plus ratings.
Okay.
The very good plus MSRP on this copy that I have here is $49.74.
Nice.
Bringing me up to $50, which brings my running total to $403, to Adam's running total of $522, which still puts you to the good of $119.
Okay.
So you're still leading me, but I'm good. I was hoping this one would have a bigger dent, especially when I saw
There was only 4.
there was only 4, and I saw like, oh, okay, cool. The lowest selling one's like $70. Like this should work in my favor. But hey, that's how it works out sometimes. Like we said, even that's the fucking motherfucking goddamn steel train. The suggested retail was less than other copies that were selling for, and I told you I would list it for even more than what the suggested retail is. So sometimes that happens, but still, $50 for a record that I bought, in 2016.
Yeah.
That
When you said only 4, I was expecting how you were like, oh,
yeah, no, I know,
$112, bitch.
I was
right
hoping.
on your ass.
I was fucking hoping. You know what though? Considering the disparity before 5 weeks ago, I am kind of right on his ass, which is actually great about this because now we are at a
Which
point.
we talked about it because I had a run.
You did. You had a little bit of a run,
and now you're catching up to it.
Yes.
So now, like we discussed where it was going to be, you were going to get 4 or 5.
Paul
albums
had
in a
that
row.
record. It was like $3 though. That didn't help either.
No, that was him.
Was that you?
That was him.
What was 3?
No, well, $6 you had.
Oh, the Willie Nelson story.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like the Hooters should have been $3,
You know
but it
why
was
I thought
the
that was
suggested
yours?
was 10.
It's because I know you play the fucking Bright Eyes song when I see you live
Yeah,
every
no,
once in a while.
I know. But we're evened up. We each have we're 22 episodes in, but that includes the pilot and the emergency episode. But we're both at 10 records.
Oh, okay.
So we are actually evened up right now. Because you did have a little bit of run there, but you have a little bit of a lead on me. And so what's going?
Speaking of run, this was your 4-piece.
This was my 4-peat.
Yeah.
So I am very interested to see, do I have a 5-peat or does Adam finally show up for the box of Michael?
Yeah.
You want to pull it up there?
I do.
Bring it up, the box of Michael. I did pick last time, but Tom is our
I say, as per
bartender.
tradition,
Yes,
Tom will pick.
Tom will pick it.
This is my second time picking a record.
It's all good.
I'm fucking honored, man.
You are, man. You should be. We're honored to have you here.
I feel honored.
How do you feel about having a pitcher named after you?
I like it.
33.
Where is the picture?
It's in my car right now. I use it as my tip jar when I'm playing shows. So this is number 33. I handed it over to Adam, who has to open up the fucking envelope from the side.
Pink.
It probably me, but could be you.
Oh, fuck yes.
It's me?
It's you, but
It's
I'm
me.
really fucking excited
Oh,
about
what is it?
this
What is
one.
it? What is it?
It's the Pogues, If I Should
Yes!
Fall from Grace of God.
I already know this whole album. I don't even have to study.
All right.
I work at an Irish bar. I know every fucking song on this album backwards and front.
Yes. This is great.
I was fucking waiting for this. And if
This-
you ever come,
I think I bought this
do you have
record
another
from
copy
Paul.
of this?
Like,
Like, do you have a copy of this for sale, not just your copy?
I don't know if
I
it's in
probably
stock.
bought that
I don't have
one.
one in stock, but I know it's it's probably listed.
A couple years ago, I bought this from Paul.
Yeah.
So I probably have his last one.
So I now have 6 in a row. 6 albums in a row. Unfortunately, this is what?
6. So that wasn't your 4.
Oh, 5. I'm sorry. This is my 5th.
5.
This is my
I was
5th in a row. Fuck. Okay. I'm excited. I like this. I like this album. This is yeah, Adam, drink that.
Yeah, please.
So actually,
Not digging that stuff.
I don't fucking mind it.
Adam, beer me while he's dicking around, please.
Here it is right here.
Please and thank you.
haven't had it yet, I'm going to give you
I always love how the drummer in this one looks like my favorite TV character, James McNulty in The Wire.
Yeah. Okay. All
He
right.
looks just like him.
Nice. So, oops, sorry.
Thank you.
Here we go. The Pogues, If I Should Fall from Grace with God. This is
Fantastic
another one of
album.
mine. This was one of the albums that really got me into playing Irish music. It's actually not the first album I ever heard from the Pogues, but it is my favorite album from the Pogues. A lot of people will go back to like Rum Sodomy and the Lash as being like their like top Pogues album, which is also a very good album, which is also produced by Elvis Costello.
Just looking at the sticker
Did
on
you
the
name
front.
your band after a song on this album?
I did, actually. Thank you,
I
sir.
was just about to ask. Just wanted to point it out. I
That's a
know
good
this
call.
album fucking
Yes.
front and back.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, the one song is called Birmingham
Yes,
6.
the Streets of Sorrow
Streets of
/
Sorrow.
Birmingham 6, which is a song about the actual Birmingham 6, which we will get into next week. I don't want to get into too much. I'm pretty fucking excited about
Yeah, I'm
this.
very excited.
That's
I was
great.
I was waiting, eagerly waiting for this one to pop up.
Yes, this is
amazing.
This has an iconic Christmas song on it, which probably has some parts that are edited out now.
You'll never hear that song on the radio.
No, not anymore. Is it?
Can you think of
canceled?
another Christmas song that drops an F-bomb in the middle of it?
And not the F-bomb.
Not the
Not the
F-bomb
F-bomb
you're
you're thinking
thinking
of.
of.
Yeah, no, probably not. I know Bon Jovi covered
It is
Fairy Tale in New York,
My
which was kind
favorite,
of weird.
my favorite Christmas
Did
song,
he?
though.
Did he?
He changes the words.
What-
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
yes, he-
Yep,
he-
they
he
change the words.
changed it.
And we'll
Bon
get.
Jovi? Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah, we'll get in.
Stop it.
We'll get into it.
That'd be ballsy for
Look,
Bon Jovi.
I'm from New Jersey, and I don't claim that guy.
I wouldn't claim him either.
I
but-
got a Bouncing Souls shirt on. I'm good with them. Fuck Bon Jovi.
Yep. Nice. So I now have a 5P. I'm excited about that.
That's a great album.
Unfortunately, I do not think my copy will knock out your $119. But I'm
That's fine. You're
fucking
still you're
getting in there.
edging
In there.
closer.
Fucking getting in there. I'm like a fungus growing on the lead.
Nah.
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna fucking take you out. Although I already told you, I think that your
Yeah.
overall is gonna be more than mine anyway. So anything else about you two, Josh Richard? Oh wait, fuck. That's two Irish bands back to back, and they're both from fucking Dublin.
I mean, listen.
fucking crazy.
Has you two ever done anything to
They're from
try to
Ireland.
be Irish?
But, like,
besides
yeah.
being from there?
Yeah, like they're from.
Listen,
there.
they say
They're
Sunday
an
Bloody,
Irish band.
They say
Right.
Sunday Bloody Sunday is not a rebel song.
That's
I
bullshit.
think that's bullshit. It is a rebel
Bullshit,
song.
Yeah. They were living there when it happened.
Exactly.
When the actual events happened
Exactly.
in Derry City.
And you're not.
They're from Dublin, but
Yeah, but still, but you also like, and that's the thing about that. You had them writing that. You had fucking John Lennon writing the song "Sunday Bloody Sunday," his Sunday Bloody Sunday, and you had fucking Paul McCartney writing about "Give Ireland Back to the Irish," all about that ultimate event. And it's
yet
like,
the English are still a bunch of cunts.
I want to fuck you, bunch of
Colonial cunts. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although I think some people would say that there is, well, not some people, but there is the argument that like you could say the Pogues are a band from London, because that is actually where they
That's where they
formed.
got famous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's where
but
is where they
Shane
formed.
McGowan's never going to admit that.
Oh
he's-
no,
Yeah,
no. But
Also, nobody in Bahrain gives a fuck about England.
Bahrain?
Bahrain.
It's the same country, right?
Oh, okay.
But you guys say Bahrain.
I say
say
Bahrain.
Bahrain.
I don't know. I'm the one who says shit wrong,
You
so
say
you know you're
tomato,
really
you
asking.
Say tomato.
Yes,
it's all-
Yeah, cool.
you say Bernard, I say Bernard.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
say
it's-
Bernard. I say Bernard. You say Bernard. Bernard. Listen,
At least you haven't pronounced my last name wrong.
and we
yet.
can say,
I know, right?
but we can all say like, fuck the English.
Yes.
right?
Oh,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay.
Yeah. Fuck the English.
Fuck
Well, that's what I remember.
the
The one
English.
time Paul played at the Bristol AOH, and I asked him if they had a dartboard, and he said yes. And I said, "Is it an English dartboard or an American dartboard?" Forgetting where I was asking about, and then he
Hold
said,
on.
"An American dartboard. Fuck the English."
The only time I'm ever gonna back the English anything is darts.
Yeah,
because American
yeah.
darts stinks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So there we go. Next week episode will be the Pogues. If I should fall from grace with God. I have 5 records in a row. I hope you guys are enjoying my records because you're getting a lot of them right now. Plus, like the fucking random record review. It's crazy. Are you even a part of this podcast? Did you show up? Do you have records? Do you have records on your 25?
I brought 6 beers with me today. That's about as far as I've showed up.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Do you have anything else to add about you two, Joshua Tree?
No, I'm glad it's over.
You're glad. Well, I have nothing else to add, so I guess it is time to. Move on!